It's a big league. Watson Duke in the big league. Yeah. PNM gone to Dusty Bay, go say pack your things and leave. Oh no.
Good evening and welcome to the PDP campaign launch. We are responding to the vagaries of the management of COVID, and therefore we are going live tonight virtually as we attempt to counter the SOE that has been brought upon us. Thank you for viewing. Thank you for the live audience we have tonight. And before we start, let's have the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago. Let's all stand, please. Our theme for tonight, let me fix this. But as the Bible says, the weary builders toil in vain unless he is involved. So let me ask Pastor Terence Baines to come and bless tonight's proceedings.
May we pray. Oh God and Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for being in the land of the living and for being able to be on the Tobago space in this time and to be chosen to contribute to the development of this precious place. You've seen all that has occurred up until now. We are confident that you have brought us as an organization to where we are now. You have been with us, and you will take us to the next place. So as we launch this campaign tonight, we depend upon you. We look to you for your help. We look to you for your wisdom and your direction. We ask that heaven's best will be meted out to us tonight. You know our hearts. You know all we want to see is the good for all the people of Tobago. So we bless tonight's proceedings. We declare that it is going to succeed. We declare that people will be reached with the message and that ultimately your purpose will be realized. In Jesus' mighty name, everybody say amen. Amen. Come on, say it one more time. Amen. Praise God.
In the PDP, we have a man for every season. Thank you, Pastor Baines. Before we go forward, just a few housekeeping announcements. And let me thank Dr. Faith and her logistics team for giving us the guidance to manage this meeting in accordance with the international COVID prevention protocols. We are arranged in rows of 12 feet and columns of 12 feet and rows of 6 feet. So let's all keep our mask on. Let's maintain the social distances. Let's keep our seats where they are. No moving of seats around. No hugging. Let's say hi and hello from a distance. And let's ensure that we do not do anything that can cause the spread of the dreaded COVID-19 virus. We are live on Facebook tonight. We are live on PDP, Progressive Democratic Patriots page on Facebook. And so we would ask kindly to our in-house audience to refrain from videotaping, refrain from taking pictures, as that will affect the quality of the video that goes live. Thank you all and welcome to our launch. Today marks a new opportunity for Tobago and for Tobagonians wherever we are to finally bring home the struggle of self-determination. When we look around today in the political sphere, we observe the tricks, we observe the falsehoods that those on the other side call pass-off strategy. And we understand clearly now the use of statutory bodies to support the ideals of those on the other side. And we take note of that, and we contemplated for a long time before finally coming to the decision, to the theme that you see behind me. Let us fix this. Let we fix this. This is our thing. Tobago belong to us and nobody else. No one else from any other landmass has the right to tell us how we should manage ourselves. This is we thing. So tonight, every time I say the phrase, let me fix this, I want all of us live here tonight and all of you in your bedroom, in your car, in your living room, wherever you are, to repeat the refrain, let me fix this. So let's start. Let me fix this. Indeed, and when I say one of those areas that are of concern to all of us, that has been of concern to all of us for the last 40 years, that remain undeveloped tonight, today, and will be so until the PDP takes governance of Tobago, I want you to say, let me fix this. Let me fix this. Thank you very much. So, as we move the ball rolling, we have 1 hour tonight. I want to introduce a man from Canaan, Bonaccord, a young man. He specializes in pipe laying and pipe fixing. He has been on the ground in Canaan, Bonaccord for the last 8 months. And no matter if they change the seat, no matter if they move polling divisions, we are assured and we want to assure the public that come whenever in December or whenever in January, King Rowley called the election, that Canaan, well, not Canaan anymore, Bonaccord Crown Point will go to PDP and Mr. Joel Sampson. So let's welcome Mr. Sampson with another hearty round of applause. And let's say, let me.
Good night to everyone. Great men are not determined by their success, but how they bounce back from their failures. After the January 25th election, many of you know I was not successful. But you could not tell I was not successful because of the way I represented this electoral district of Canaan, Bon Accord, and Crown Point. My journey is a special journey. They say, he's a plumber. He does be down in holes. He does fix pipe. But I come to fix the leak that has been affecting Bon Accord, Crown Point, and Canaan for the past 20 years. Representation is something we must do. The person they elected, we don't see him. But not see, they see not see morning, noon, and night. I made a vow to the people that no matter the result, no matter the outcome, I would represent them. They would see me still at their doorsteps. They would see me coming to find out how things are going. And that is what I have been doing for the past 8 months. Not just myself, but my other 5 colleagues who were unsuccessful as well. You could not tell that we were not elected. For the past 8 months, we have been doing these drives. It ranged from the hamper drive to the bread drive. And with the bread drive, they say we're giving people bread, not even a piece of cheese. But half a loaf is better than no loaf. We have also embarked on the lunchtime drives. We on weekends, we will distribute food across the communities. Out of the little resources we have, we dip into our pockets and try to assist those in need. Because this pandemic that we are faced with is a very critical one. Persons' lives have been greatly affected. Persons are on the breadline. Persons are out of homes. They are out of food. They are out of jobs. And this is not the only pandemic. The COVID-19 is not the only pandemic. There is a greater pandemic, the Raging Bull pandemic, and we have to vote them out. While on these walks, there are a lot of problems affecting us. And right now, the PDP, we come to fix this. So let me hear all say, let we fix this. On the walks, one of the things that is most concerning to me, that has bothered me for the past year or 2 since it has come about, is the acquisition of the lands at Crumstain for the airport expansion. Ill-timed, ill-mannered, everything ill about it. So we come to fix this. Persons who have their generational lands have these lands been taken away from them without any proper form of negotiation. They have been lied to, downright and plain. A blind man could see it. And we have to fix this. All right? There's no need for all this land acquisition because tourism has declined. It has gone through the door in Trinidad and Tobago. But everything now is coming to light because with the new bill and this property tax thing where they come with, it is clearer for us to see what they are about. So when they acquire these lands are to give to their friends from the West in Trinidad, better known as the 1%. So we had to fix this. Otherwise to that, they are taking millions to develop the cove. And the same thing goes. It is going to their friends, the 1%. In the past, they spoke about persons coming here and this ship and that ship. But we know what ship is going to come here. But for us to stop that ship from coming here, we must exercise our democratic right and vote them out. When you look at how the thing is going, when time for elections, you see they come with them mama guy and the ism, schism, and they come with all kind of sorts of pretty things and try to mama guy us. But Tobagonians are fed up. Tobagonians are fed up of them and their nonsense, their rubbish and their lies, the mismanagement, all the ills and wrongs that they have done. So we, the PDP, we are here to fix this. Let me hear all they say, let me fix this. I could go on and on about the things that affect my community. But I must say to the persons of Bonaccord Crown Point, they have done their best to split us, to try to put it at their advantage. But I, not see Samson, going to put a resounding cocktail on them come the next election. So I am urging you, the persons of Tobago, let's come out. Whenever that date is announced, let's come out in our numbers. We have the power in our hands. It's right here in the right index finger. Don't stay at home and say, my party have this. Let's come out. Don't let us have another episode of January where we stayed at home and say, not see had this or this one have it. Let's come out and vote and ensure that we have it in the bag. So when that date has come, we will come out and we will vote against corruption. Let we fix this. Against poor agriculture. Let we fix this. Against the bad health care. Let we fix this. And after that day, and we are victorious, we will repair Tobago together and the workshop will be back in one piece. Good night and thank you.
Not say? Who say Bonaccord Crown Point? Let me fix this. Now, there's a question as to what is the philosophy behind let me fix this. And I want to attempt to explain it in a language that everybody can understand. We in Tobago have been struggling for years to bring home what our forefathers since James Begat and APT and ANR have been struggling for. That is to bring home to Tobago and to Tobagonians a restoration of the ill that took place in 1887. The ill that joined us to Trinidad, that caused today Trinidadians to belittle us and embarrass us, and to cause us to be the biggest embarrassment in the region that is the Caribbean. We must understand that at the highest level, that is our goal. But on the ground, in the last 20 years, we are plagued with the mismanagement, what I call the willful incompetence of a group of people who take their instructions from Trinidad, and their intent has always been to marginalize us, to ensure we can't develop, to ensure that we can't achieve anything unless we first come to them. And so out of this theme, I want all of us Tobagonians to understand that it is only in this timeline, it is only the PDP, only the PDP can fix the ills that plague us today. So join with us when our paraphernalia comes out with our let's fix this, let we fix this. I keep going back. Let we fix this in our paraphernalia. Make sure you get 1, 2, or 3 and advertise that message so that all of us in Tobago understand that this comes from our heart. We and only us can fix this problem, can cut down the scourge from Trinidad. Now I'm a project manager. But from today until after the election, I am going back to basics. And I want you to come with me. I am going back to basics, and I am taking out my carpentry tools. And all the training that we have, that I have, will come to naught if I don't go back and become a carpenter and fix Tobago. So all of you, wherever you are, whatever trade, whether you are laborers, whether you are helpers or supervisors, join the bandwagon today and ensure that we bring home to Tobago the victory for Tobago. Not for the PDP, but for Tobago and for the next generation. So the next generation don't have to fight the struggles that we are going through. So our next speaker, did I hear, let me fix this? Let me fix this. Our next speaker is the founder of the PDP. He is the augur, he is the boss, he is the visionary, he is the leader of the team, he is the magnanimous guy who hands over to Farley. This is the man who understood that there was a gap to be filled in 2015 and decided to throw his hat in the political ring, win, lose, or draw. And today, we are reaping the success because of him. And he's aptly named, you know. Watson. Watson is the chief assistant of Sherlock Holmes. The man behind the scenes that protect and guide and inspire Sherlock to solve all the crimes. He is Solomon, the all-wise king. And he's, of course, he's the Duke, the leader, the overseer. So let's welcome to the podium the political leader of the Progressive Democratic Patriots, Mr. Watson Solomon Duke.
Yes, in collaboration with Izzy.
The technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
The handwriting is on the wall.
PDP sing.
The new empire, it done fall. Tobago, the oppressors you see today, don't worry tomorrow, they'll be gone.
Let me hear your PDP.
As war surrounds Jerusalem, so Jah surrounds Tobago. Pierre let his people go. PDP Spartans, face off with Pharaoh. We fight for change. Tobago, we need a change.
Yeah.
We will fight for you.
I want to thank you all tonight, Spartans. Let them know we are observing the COVID protocols here tonight. We have never seen nothing as this. A live audience so orderly, so refined, and so lawful. The thousands of you who are out here tonight, seated 12 feet apart, 6 feet apart, I say to you, the only way you could find this army is in Chinese tongue. In China, only China alone, the first kind of army, you know. Whether this orderly, I feel good. You all are very orderly. So we came tonight to fix this. And it's the first time we are using local parlance. Our word. They say we can't talk. They say we just talk bad language. But we have done well. And we are putting it in their face. We're saying to them, and the world will come to know, let me fix this. Let me fix this. And when I said this, those are this. Say this. I want to see your teeth. Let me fix this. Let me fix this. I ain't seen no let teach you the mass. I want to see let teach you the mass people. Let me fix this. Let me fix disrespect. All right. I want to let you know tonight. There's a young man in the crowd who I fondly call Brother Farley Chavez Augustine. He's a man from yard. He's a man that was born in Speyside. His parents and them are right here. We're talking about Farley Augustine Sr.
and his mother, deceased, God bless her soul, Jacqueline Pilgrim Augustine. He went to school right here. In the east, he went to preschool and primary school. In the west, he went to high school, Bishop's High School. He's a man of travel on different kind of Commonwealth Youth Parliament program. He's a man of the people. Big management inside East Football Club. They're doing well all over the country. They're doing well. They're beating people, man. Yeah? He's a man that's been in everybody's kitchen cooking a little food for them when they are awake. He's a man of the people. And whenever he gets intellectual, he writes a column and shape opinions in the editorial. That's the kind of man we're talking about. This is a man who, when I invited him to join the fight for Tobago in 2016, he dilly-dally, but eventually he couldn't wrestle with destiny. He said, I come in, and he consented in 2016. In January 2017, he became the first PDP representative for Dalaford East, plenty, yeah? Speyside, all of Charlottesville, all of Lansomi, all of Bloody Bay, all of Palativia, and all of Castara. He doesn't get weary. He's young and he's energetic. He has been serving from 2017 to current. When you gave us 6 seats, folks, we understood what you meant. You meant that we must have a conversation with the other 6. And we did attempt with Farley Chavez Augustine and myself and the entire team to have a conversation with the 6. But they didn't want the 6. While we were planning, every time we are planning something significant, they are planning something tricky. Yeah? Like Tricky Tracy. So when we sat down to talk with the Prime Minister in March, trying to figure out this thing, they send the bill up to the President to be assented to. And so today, while on the 15th of September, we say we are going to launch our campaign to claim the 15 seats or to contest all 15 seats. You know what they're doing in Trinidad? They consent to the order. They pass the order for the 15 seats. Yes. And they say, look, it must stay so. So we have decided to bring out the big guns for them now. And so we're calling a young man who's a godly man, a spiritual man, an elder man, a man who tries his best to live right and walk orderly. I want you to put your hands together for a man who will fix it. Put your hands together for a man from the east, but no stranger to the west, a man who has committed his life to fixing Tobago's issues. Put your hands together for Farley Chavez Augustine, PDP.
I'm holding on in order to stay around in a life therapy imbalance. For it is nature's way until judgment day. Weakness ain't got a chance. Playing strong cause I realize the price little one must pay to keep the big one in paradise. Is torment and misery all day. Destruction of the weak is nature's plan. The humble and the weak must understand. This day of the strong man.
PDP family, good night. Tobago, good night. Let me fix this. Let me fix this. Tobago, I love you. I want to start by telling you, Tobago, that I love you. And what I love most about Tobago is that Tobago historically has always had a penchant for winning a fight. It doesn't matter what kind of fight it is, Tobago always wins. And so tonight, I want to start by making a very bold claim. And the claim is, we start the fight and finish. But Tobago, rest assured tonight that you will win this fight. I want to tell you, Tobago, tonight, that if my good friend, my fellow Bishopian, the man who run in Tobago by proxy, and running it by jumping on a Caribbean Airlines flight and running it from Up in Hope. I want to say to my fellow Anstian even, if you think that you are the raging bull, tonight you meet the matador and I will tame you. I want to say to you, Tobago, first of all, thank you. Because many people counted us out. We recently ran a campaign in January with little to no money. And I must start there. Because I know that the people who work for PDP, plenty of you who we can't even afford to finish pay, worked because you believe in what we are offering Tobago. And you worked hard. You drove around this island. You saw obscene expenditure from those on the other side. Whole 4 years, you can't get a little grant, but you could find bunting and flags all over the place. You saw more of their flags than you will see of the national flag at Independence. They had the massive motorcade. But one thing I love about Tobagonians, we cannot be bought, nor can we be sold. And Tobagonians, you made an important decision in January. In January, you said to all of us, to both sides, you said, please, all you go there and fix it. You gave 1/6, you gave the other half a dozen. Same thing. You said, all you go there and all you fix it. We tried our very best to get them to work with us to fix it. I even humble myself. I put aside all ambition to be chief secretary. I said to my fellow countrywoman who run from me in the east and run come down to town because she afraid of licking. I said, come, this might be your only chance to ever be chief secretary. Let us make you chief secretary and let we fix this together. Instead, they try all kind of thing. They came up with all kinds of excuses. We said we're giving you the leadership of the executive council. We said we will give you the majority of the secretaries. We will give you the presiding officer position. All we want, the only non-negotiables we place on the table were that of Deputy Chief Secretary and Secretary of Finance. We said we will work with you and together we go fix this place called Tobago. We thought that together we will fight for this autonomy issue, that together we will catch the same A.P.T. James boat in poetic justice fashion, go down to Port of Spain, hold hands and cross Wrightson Road together, because we ain't good enough to get walk over to come off the boat. We will walk up Frederick Street, walk to the Red House together and demand our autonomy together. Instead, they come up with all kinds of excuses. When they stop listening to us, they say, okay, let us call some mediators. They say, no, we ain't want no mediators. But Tobago, tonight, because they have refused to join us in fixing this, we will put them out and let we fix this ourselves and without them. We have to fix this place called Tobago. Tobago expects more from us. Tobago demands more. When God was creating the world, he took his time on Tobago. He placed some extra attention on this place. No place more beautiful than this. No place more filled with potential than this. But we, like the heritage woman, we are forever pregnant and never giving birth. And it's about time we give birth to our truest potential and fix this place called Tobago. Tonight, I have one simple task, and that is to inspire you to be hopeful and to let you know that notwithstanding the chaos that was the last 21 years, we can fix this place called Tobago. Tobago can become so good that even Trinidad must be jealous of our economic achievement. Even Trinidad must be envious of what this small island can achieve. We have failed to live up to our potential. And to whom much is given, much is expected. And God is not pleased with the mediocrity that has passed on this island for governance. That is not good governance. And so when PDP comes and says, let me fix it, we're talking about fixing the governance issue on this island and giving you good governance. We are talking about accountability so that you will never have to have another campaign where we have to talk about Auditor General's reports. We are talking about ensuring that there is people participation in our democracy. And that's why we have been telling you since last year, in fact since 2017, about creating e-platforms so you could stay in your house and by petition you could determine what motions we debate in the parliament, in the Tobago House of Assembly. And when we say let we fix this, we are talking about equality so that the youth man on the beach in Castara must feel as equal as the youth man down on the beach in Storbay. Because the Tobago we know and have no tongue, no country. We know one Tobago, we have one struggle, and that is for Tobago to get its autonomy and get good governance going. Let me fix this. We have to fix this place. We have to fix this place, and tonight it is very easy for us Tobago to pine and whine over all the amount of times that this way. You know where is that this? This is a disrespect. They're this way. And so we are experiencing some displeasure with how they have treated us. They have disguised themselves as wolves in cheap clothing. They have a distasteful appetite for money and wealth. They have made us into a people who are discordant and who are disagreeable and who are angry all the time. They have done us a disservice. They have put us at disease with their disease redness. They have placed us in disarray. They have disappearing acts ever so often. Ever so often, a $10 million gone, a 3-point-something million gone, a this amount gone, and they can't account for it. They have a disproportionate measure with how they give to their few friends versus how they give to the rest of us. It is disturbing how they are arrogant, how they will stand in your face, puff up their chest with the pearls around their neck and feel they're better than the average Tobagonian. But Tobagonians, you know that we all are one family, as Lord Nelson says. They are despicable, they are dishonest, they are a disappointment, they discriminate against us, they are disgraceful, they have dismantled the good heritage of the THA that Robinson has started, and they have left us disheartened and disinterested. But tonight, Tobago, we have to find healing. And sometimes when people diss you like that, you have to say to yourself, pick yourself up and say, we are going to get over this. Let me fix this. The goodly Prime Minister has been telling us not to jackass the scene. And meanwhile, he has been jackassing our democracy. We look at them very closely. Very closely. And I want to say tonight, they could twist the seats up, they could twist them down. They could pull from one, they could take from the next. They could thief from here, they could borrow from there. They could make the people in Mason Hall vote with bagatelle. They could do what they want. They curtail my book worse than a Bubilee on Good Friday morning. And so we are not afraid of the task at hand. And let me say this clear to members of the media who may ask, we are no money to go to no court. We are no money for senior counsel to fight EBC. We are no money for all of that. And we will rely on what we know best. Each other, you and me. Because when Tobagonians stand up and stand together, we just fix any problem that we have. So let me fix this. Let me fix our democracy. Let's fix our governance issues. Let me fix this. And tonight, let me just talk about one small area. Let's talk tourism. It's no secret that COVID-19 has wrecked our economy. But the truth be told, Tobago's tourism industry was on the decline before COVID came. Because truth be told, the worst thing to happen to Tobago since the coming of Christopher Columbus was the coming of a man named Orville London and the PNM. And so they have wrecked us badly. And when I spoke with the Tourism Association, and they shared with me a simple survey, and this is supposed to be our largest industry outside of the government sector, outside of the THS sector that employing almost everybody. When they showed me that survey, their survey revealed that 75% of the accommodation businesses, those in the sector, hotels, guest houses, bed and breakfast, villas, they were not confident of reopening after COVID. 75%. Their survey showed that 57% of them went and begged the bank for a moratorium, begged the bank for pardon, and only 28% of them received. And I asked myself, but who are these people representing? Where is our Secretary of Finance? Now, you see, if we, in an arrangement with them, had a Secretary of Finance, we would have advocated for the banking policies to change to accommodate the accommodation sector and the tourism sector in Tobago, because we care about you. 92% of them have seen increased costs, notwithstanding COVID. Right now, they are grappling with Tiantec because they have this thing called reserved capacity. And they have to pay for this reserved capacity whether or not they turn on the lights, because they have what is considered an industrial plant. So imagine having a plant paying $30,000+ when the month comes for reserved capacity. You have no guests, airport shut down, you turn off all the lights, you turn off all the AC, you lock up all the doors, you send home your staff, you drain your pool, you ensure nothing is plugged in anywhere, and you still have to pay that reserve capacity. And they have been begging everybody from Secretary of Finance to Minister of Finance just to talk to Tiantec. And we have two people sit down in cabinet. One of them could only spend the time to come on Facebook to have rubs with a resident of Crown Point who have a right to defend himself and his family heritage and stand up for his land. But she don't have mouth to go to the cabinet and stand up and say, look, let Tiantec waive this reserve capacity for our people in Tobago. Tiantec is a function of the central government. The cabinet and the people of Trinidad and Tobago, by extension, we own Tiantec, and we could instruct Tiantec, yet nobody cares about the people in this sector. And so I want to say to you tonight, Tobago, that tourism is just one area, but the areas are vast. And over the next few weeks, whenever they call the election date, we will spend the time building out for you, case by case, sector by sector, how we plan to develop this place called Tobago. We did it last year. In fact, we did it in 2017. When we came and we said to you, let's build Tobago, child by child, family by family, village by village. We came again in 2020 and we said, let's put people before politics. We came in January and we said, let's transform Tobago. And we presented the most transformative plan with the most transformative leadership Tobago has ever seen. We end up at 6-6. But I tell you this, when you have a car that breaks down sometimes you think it's going in the garage because you just need to change the brakes. But when the garage man hook it up on the computer, and I don't know much about cars because I now start to drive the other day. But when the garage man hook it up on the computer, he start to see all kind of things wrong with the vehicle. So sometimes when you think it's a quick in and a quick out, your car in the garage for days. And this vehicle called Tobago has been in the garage since January of 2021. And we are saying right now, we are at the stage where we done paint the vehicle. The vehicle is painted in black and green and white. The vehicle is being buffed, and we are ready to put the vehicle out of the garage and set Tobago on the right pathway again. And you have to help us. You have to help us. And I want to say to you tonight, we cannot fix Tobago alone. So when we say, let we fix this in the Creole way, means you, me, and even those who subscribe to PNM philosophy. Because the truth is, I will not lead any team that will become the flip side or PNM part 2. That will not happen under my watch. And so I want to tell you that Team PDP will ensure that even some of you who will break sticking hairs, broke sticking hairs, get bucket hairs, and will go to the polls and still vote for them, I want to say to you that PDP will form a government for you too, because we care about you too. And you must come on board and help us fix it. I want to say to the PDP Spartans that it is not your job to run anybody. It's not your job to cuss anybody. Not because you know who they just vote, you must cuss them. That is not the philosophy of the progressive democratic patriots. We are about encouraging everybody to be on the ship. That is why Notsi could be on the ship. Notsi resigned today from a party group in Crown Point to join PDP in January 27. That's why we have Pastor Baines. Pastor Baines worked with his whole political organization, the Forwards, and brought them over to the PDP. That's why we have people here who are TOP. That's why we have people here who are Nowhereans. Because this party is not about where you come from, which party you support. It's about Tobago and Tobagonians first and foremost. And because we believe that, I assure you, Sabga can't get land in Cove before you could get land in Cove. I know I am not opposed to outside investors. I welcome outside investors. But I have a serious issue when our young people and our farmers could be begging for land for years, writing letters, writing proposals. They ain't even getting back a letter to say, well, I received your letter. But you could wake up on Independence morning of all mornings to see a news article from a foreign newspaper that they had a Gopi Schoon and them who have no business in Tobago's business signing away Tobago's land to one of their friends and financiers down in Trinidad. And I say to you, investors can come from Trinidad, we welcome you. Investors can come from abroad, we welcome you. But we are operating on a policy of Tobago first. If we have to fix this place called Tobago, we have to start with those from the very household of Tobago and fix our home first. Dance at home before you dance abroad. Our people should never be second-class citizens in their own land. And that's part of the Tobago pride. And I don't care who will want to misconstrue what I say tonight and take it to mean other things. No, I am not preaching racism. I leave that for Sandy, who's struggling with life right now. No, I am not going to preach classism because I believe all of us are one under God. But I am certainly going to preach Tobago first from a Tobago first platform like the PDP, because Tobago must come first and foremost, and everything we do must be in your best interest. It must never be inimical to your best interest. That's what Let We Fix This mean. And so I encourage you and invite you to join us on this campaign. And this campaign is a campaign of hope. This campaign, I ain't wasting any more time with Tricky Tracy and her gang. I am not wasting any more time with them, because all of Tobago know who they are. The petticoat has been exposed a long time ago, and the bloomers are stained and dirty. So I have no time to waste on them. But I say to you tonight, this campaign is a campaign about hope. This campaign is a campaign to let you know that you should no longer be disinterested in your own future, but you can be interested again. This campaign is to reassure you that you have candidates who will listen to you. No set of candidates does walk the ground like a PDP area rep. Sometimes I was tired. There is hardly a night I just reach home before 9 o'clock. Thank God for the curfew pass. And that is because when we set out to work, we work and we work hard until we get the job done. And I assure you that what we are working for is a Tobago being run by people who care about you most. People who care about you is because we care about you. Why we don't have no big financier in here telling us what to do? It's because we care about you. Why plenty of we are riding in no Range Rover and so on. Watson could afford that. But the rest are we living within we means. It's because we care about you. Why people like me still live home in my parents' house, and Dr. Faye live home in her ancestors' house, and Miss Hackett renting, and Pastor Baines catching up her head on a piece of stone when the night time come. It's because we care about you. Why we are not here in search of glitz and glamour, but we are in search of to the very elusive question of how can we make Tobago better. I want Tobago to be better. I believe that Tobago can be better. And I'll be honest with you, there are days I question whether I should even do this. There are days I question whether this is making any sense. There are days I get up and I say, Father, you can't leave home today. I don't know if it's depression, I don't know it's what, but there are some days I just don't feel to leave the house because things just not working out. But I tell you, I will not still be here if I did not love you. Because I assure you, there are pathways outside of Tobago. But when I look at people my generation, and I go searching for them, all the bright minds I sat in classes with, all the bright minds I saw on the field of play, all the bright minds, we sat in the same buses in Shuggy Maxi and all the Maxis traveling from country together. When I search for them, they're all over the world helping to build other societies. And when I ask them, why are you not coming home? They said, to do what, Farley? What you get it for me to do? It ain't nothing there for me to do. And that must change, and that will change when PDP wins the election, when Tobago wins the election, whenever they decide to call it. Because we must create a society where our people want to live here, where our people want to contribute here. And even if they cannot live here, where they feel as members of the diaspora, they can look back and give more to Tobago than just remittances. We don't just want remittances through Western Union. We want our brightest minds to look back and help us develop this place. Because Tobago can outshine Trinidad. Tobago can outshine the Caribbean. I have seen far too many failing governing structures across the Caribbean. And that's why we fought so hard. And perhaps this is the last thing I will tell you, because we have a long campaign and I'm not sure of the time. But this is the last thing I will tell you. After this 6-6 deadlock, and we realized that they're not interested in coming together, we said, okay, we're going to fight for the autonomy issue. Maybe they will fight with us together for the autonomy issue. Maybe together, although we're not in the same executive council, maybe together we will fight for it. And I broke some stick in my ears because some seniors said, Farley, you're wasting your time. Farley, you're wasting your energies. There were some days, interview after interview, TV to radio to all kind of thing. Sometimes 2, 3, 4 times a day. I can't breathe. Everybody wants to know about this autonomy issue. And I thought that maybe this time we will fight for it together. I was prepared to help fight for it together. I went all out, notwithstanding the fact that the Prime Minister used the platform of the Parliament to embarrass and to try to belittle and denigrate me and other notable Tobagonians like Dr. Vanosh James and Dr. Winford James. Poor Tobagonian chap, you don't even know that Dr. Vanos and Dr. Winford not related. Every Tobagonian knows that. But you see, Keith is a Tobagonian by birth, B-I-R-T-H, and became a Trini by boat, B-O-A-T. So he didn't know about his heritage anymore, except for his goats that he is caring for better than you and me. But nonetheless, I decided I will fight with them for this autonomy issue. And as I looked through what they proposed, I said, look, there are some things that may work, some things I'm willing to concede on. but there are some things Tobagonians can't concede on. I was even willing to concede on some things that some of my seniors like Dr. Van Ossen and Dr. Winford and Hochoy Charles and them weren't willing to concede on. But I said that some things are non-negotiable. Our borders, non-negotiable. Defining Tobago, non-negotiable. Tobago land, non-negotiable. We must have full control of our destiny, because the idea is that Tobago should be autonomous enough to craft out for itself a successful society. We must be able to build out our social and economic development for ourselves. That is what this autonomy argument is about. And after they come and they say, okay, we'll give us some time, 15 days, and we will consider amendments. I spent about 4 or 5 days, several hours, sitting down in a room. Mr. Hochoy Charles, Mrs. Davidson Celestine, Mr. Ansel Dennis, Nikosi Philip, sitting in the same room, Dr. Maria Dillon, Remy, sitting in the same room, working through line by line, thistle by thistle, as the old people say. And after we do all that work, send down the proposed amendments. By the time the amendments come, PNM said they're not interested in signing to that. After we send it down, the next thing we hear, we just go in with the 15 seat and done. And that's why I say to Tobago, you have an opportunity to punish them for what they have done for you. This is an election to vote with some bad mind, some good Tobago bad mind. This is an election you must come out and reclaim your heritage. And I using piece of the slang, now is the time to stand in defense of Tobago. Now is the most appropriate time to make that stance. And so together, let we fix this. Together, let we bring back hope to Tobago. Together, let we build a Tobago that we all can be proud of, so that we will have a Tobago that is the envy of the world, the greatest little island on planet Earth. Thank you, Tobago, and look out for us over the coming weeks. We can't campaign as we used to. We can't have big truck and big meetings on the side of the road. And in this campaign, we scattered all over a big hall. Few of us scattered here making the noise of an army. But we like Gideon, Brother Watson. We don't need a multitude to defeat the enemy, because those that are for us are greater than those that are against us. And he who has started this good work will finish it. We are confident of that, Tobago. We will finish it together. Let me fix this together. God is on our side, Tobago. I love you, Tobago. Let me fix this.
Cheers. In collaboration with AC.
The technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
The handwriting is on the wall. PNMU Empire. It done for Tobago.
All right. We are short for time on Channel 5 and Facebook. We know how far he is. He does talk and talk. He's a man can't finish quick. But I want to remind you, Tobago, that this victory and this struggle is yours. Ask yourself, what can you do when the EBC don't come in your area and they send strangers to vote? Be our soldiers and our security and inform us. When you go down the road and the PNM thieving money, inform us. A song comes to mind as we close. If you are a big tree, we are the small axe. So I'm taking out my axe tonight, and I'm asking you, wherever you are in Tobago, to find something and defend all that is Tobago. Next Wednesday, again, look out for us. We'll be live on Facebook. Thank you and good night.
Cheers. In collaboration with AC.
The technocrats are for you. We will fight for you.
The handwriting is on the wall. PNMU Empire. It done for